Kieran.
Yeah, walk away from me.
That's still coming.
Aye, okay.
Kieran Kingston, top manager after Kieran. Bit of staff, I suppose. Kieran Kingston, top manager after Kieran. Hugely disappointed with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was a game. We can come into today's game. We were in control of our own destiny to a degree, and after today we lose that control. So that goes without saying. Massively disappointed.
Outscored in the first half, 14 points to 2. Hard to recover from that.
Yeah, we had a very bad start. We were playing into the breeze in the first half. Had a very poor start. I think that we were really nervous the first 20 minutes. We looked very nervous, made some elementary mistakes. And that was disappointing because you give a team the calibre of Clare, we saw how good they were last week, you give a team the calibre of Clare that lead and try and work it back. You're always struggling, give yourself an uphill battle, and I think that's the way it turned out today. We had a good run to come up to half time, that quarter, 7 points to 3, and put ourselves in a position at half time that maybe we could get something out of this. But then you got the first 2 scores after half time, I don't even tell you, you know that yourselves. And again, you're fighting again for the rest of the half. But look, I have to hold our hands up. On the day, we were beaten by a better team, no question about that. Clare deserved their win, and I'm going to make any excuses for that. On the day, they were a better team, and they deserved the win. I know we got it back to 2 points in the end, but that really was, and maybe we got another minute or two, might have another one, but we had a few chances. For us, the positives, I think we kept at it. We kept going, we kept fighting hard. Couldn't break it down. Limit them to one shot and goal, I think, for the whole game. But look, they had a lot of long range scores, and ran out deserving winners.
Crucially, just after Ian Galvin was sent off, Clare got the next 3 points. That was a huge momentum swing.
Yeah, but look, that wasn't the winning or losing of the game, you know. I think that the first 20 minutes we lost the game.
Do you think the confidence of players suffered, Kieran, from the Waterford and Limerick games?
Yeah, look, I mean, if you get an All-Ireland final, we did a year ago, there wasn't any expectation around the group. And this time you get an All-Ireland final, then you lose it, obviously. And then you have a good league campaign, you get another final. I think expectation then starts to increase amongst everyone, and that's understandable. And with that then comes plaudits when you win and more criticism when you lose. That goes with the territory, we all know that, right? And he knows because you're writing it or getting people to write it, so you know that well. And I think that after the Limerick game and all that's happened in the last 2 weeks, and obviously what's been said by different people that's affected players as well a bit, of course, understand that, right? And people are obviously everybody's entitled to their opinions. But I thought we showed a bit of nervousness on the back of that. I think certainly in the first 20 minutes we definitely showed a bit of nervousness. And it reflected in the scoreline, like 14 points to, I think 14-3 was it, I think 11 points down at that stage, with about 12 or 14 minutes to go in the first half. So I know it was a win, but it wasn't that much of a win. And as I said, that was always going to be a challenge, you know.
Alan Conley, I suppose, one of the bright spots, the full back line played well as well. So some small bits to take from it.
Yeah, look, we have to look. I mean, at the end of the day, we've been criticised, as you know, for conceding too many goals in the last few games. Today was obviously a bonus that, as I said, a one shot and goal, but then you can't concede that many points out the field and compensate for it. So Alan did very well when he came in, and he's a young lad just out of under 20s, had a bad injury early on in the year, and he's recovered well from that, and he showed it today.
And how hard will it be to pick lads up now for Walsh Park?
Yeah, it is. Look, as I said, we can only control what's in front of us. We can't change what happened today or what happened the last day. We've lost control of our own destiny. I mean, at the end of the day, players are representing Cork in 2 weeks' time in below Walsh Park, and that's a big game. It's a four game round robin, and we expect that they represent that jersey in a proper manner when we go to Walsh Park, irrespective of what happens elsewhere. As I said, we can't control that. We can only control what's going on in that game in 2 weeks' time, and as best as we can.
Kieran, look, from our point of view, maybe that you were more direct when you got the Conley goal from long ball in from Robbie Flynn. Was that part of the maybe adjustment from the Limerick game?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there were 2 points. There were 2 things to take away from that. We got turned over quite a bit, as you know, in that game coming out from the back, and we conceded a couple of goals, and there were things obviously you want to work on, things that don't go well for you. How we got those, they were certainly better today. You're trying to get a balance between evolving teams as they change the style insofar as you when to run and when to walk it through the lines and when to let it go and have the players that can do both. And that's a bit of mix and match at times, and you've got to vary it depending on the opposition. Like it's not all about what we do, as any manager will say to you. It's about what the opposition do as well. If they're dropping a guy back, then it's easy. You just lump it in, but you lump it in on top of John Conlon or Tyke Burke or someone like that. That makes no sense. So it depends what the opposition do is going to dictate what happens when players go over the right line. But you obviously have to be prepped to either go along when the opportunity is there or to walk it through the lines when it's not. And we give players the license to do that and take the ownership of that, depending on what setup they're playing against at any particular time, into the wind, with the wind. And you notice there, you've teams change setups maybe from quarter to quarter, with the breeze, against the breeze, half to half. So you've got to be able to adjust to that.
Is there a lot of pressure put on the Cork players coming into big games now? The last couple of games, there's a lot of talk about the team, like, from the public.
Look, as I said, expectation brings that, but that's part and parcel of the game, I said as like pressure is a privilege in this environment, because that's why if you didn't want praise and you couldn't deal with criticism or couldn't take pressure, then you shouldn't be in this game, player or management. That's the way it is. Like I have a backroom team here, over 20 people, and we've 35 in a panel, and they're extremely hard-working people. We all do this on a voluntary basis, and we give our heart and soul to it, as do the players. And that's the way it should be, and we're proud to do it. We're proud to be involved with Cork hurling, and I know those players, they're gutted in there, they're really hurting, as we are. But we're proud to be involved with Cork, and any pressure, any outside noise ain't going to change how we feel about that.
Thanks.
Thank you.